Hey, thanks so much for jumping on my channel. We are going to talk about how to lose that stubborn weight. So, thanks again for jumping on my channel. As I said, we're going to talk about how to lose the stubborn weight. So, first and foremost, a ketogenic lifestyle is definitely what I have found the best way to keep sustainable, long-term weight loss. We all know lots of people who willpower with low carbs, high exercise, and get results, but it's not sustainable. They end up wrecking their metabolism because they go low calories, so they teach their body to only run on lower calories. So we want to try to get into a ketogenic lifestyle so that we're doing a more lower carb, higher fat, moderate protein. And I do have some other videos, so you can scroll through to see exactly what the ketogenic diet is. But I highly recommend going into a ketogenic lifestyle. So that would be number one. Number two would be to really reduce the insulin that your body is creating. So the ways to do this is to not eat so often. Every time we eat proteins and carbs, it spikes a little bit of insulin, and insulin is a fat storage hormone. So every time you eat, you are telling your body to, like your insulin is saying, I'm going to store some of this for later. And then if we're always eating, later never comes. So if you really want to tap in and use your own fat, then you need to stop eating so often. So there is different styles of like fasting. So there's intermittent fasting where we stop eating at say 8 o'clock at night and don't eat till the next day at lunchtime. If that's not working, if you've kind of plateaued, gone so far, I would recommend OMAD, so 1 meal a day. If that's not working, you could look at how much are you eating during your 1 meal a day, or you could look at alternate day fasting, so you don't eat one day, you eat the next day, don't eat one day, eat the next day. But what this is really going to do for you is you're not going to be creating insulin so often. So when you're not creating insulin, you're not storing fat, you're not storing calories to use for later, and you're going to end up using your own fat. So it has been huge. I have noticed a tremendous benefit from it. When we're doing the ketogenic lifestyle, making sure that you really are counting all of your carbs and making sure that the sugars and that aren't sneaking in there. A lot of people drink their calories. I highly recommend not drinking a big heavy protein drink and drink, like the big shakes with all the protein and all that. The act of chewing, the act of it will make, there's all of these chemical things going on. When you're just drinking your calories, you'll feel hungrier sooner. It's already been so broken down for you that your body can utilize it right away. When you're actually eating the protein as opposed to drinking a protein drink. I'm not against protein drinks, but if you're really trying to lose weight, I would try to eat more real whole foods, because when you eat a steak, your body has to work very hard and use a lot of calories to break that down. When you drink protein, your body doesn't necessarily have to break that down because it's already into a liquid form. It's much easier for it to break it down and consume it. So you're going to get more insulin from that than you would be if you were to eat real whole foods. So another thing to do to lose those last few pounds is high intensity interval training. So short burst training. I really like recommending doing a 20 or 30 second all out, push as hard as you can, and then a 10 or 15 second break. If you are not healthy and you don't exercise, don't start with this protocol. Just go out walking, go to your local gym, get a trainer, get somebody to help you get going. If you're somebody that's already active, already going to the gym, and maybe doing like those long 1 hour workouts, I really would recommend that you look at doing some high interval training. So it's short bursts, really like do burpees for 30 seconds, take a 15-second break, repeat 4 times, take a 1 minute break, and then repeat again. You could do sprints, you can do squats. So there's lots of videos on what exactly high intensity, I don't know why I can't talk, interval training is, but it can really, like that 8 minutes, you're not going to spike your cortisol, where when you do a 1 hour workout, there's a big chance that you're spiking cortisol, which is going to then flood and give you more hormones, and you're going to go into a fight or flight, and then you're going to start storing your calories again, and we want to be expending them. So short interval training does not do that, so it's shown to have much better benefit than the long intensive workout. So short, high intensity, high being like work out to your max. Sleep is huge, and we all know it, but we never really make time for it. So if you can get into a really good system, maybe taking like a bath with magnesium salts and Epsom salts and really relaxing, and getting that extra magnesium into you so that when you go to sleep, you get a nice deep sleep. If possible, trying to go to bed at the same time and getting up the same time so you can get that rhythm, your body to go with the 24-hour clock would be huge. It will really, you have no idea all of the repair and regeneration that your body's doing during sleep. And it's going to help to curb your appetite. If you're not sleeping, then in the day, you're going to be hungry because you haven't slept. So your body needs something. And so it's like, if you're not going to give me sleep, give me some calories, give me something else. So you really do got to make sure that you're getting good quality deep sleep. So if you need to wear earplugs, if you need to have something to cover your eyes for light, whatever it is, figure it out, but you need sleep. Also, so when we're looking at different things to help regulate our blood sugars, to help regulate that we don't spike insulin, there is a couple tips and tricks that you can do to keep that down. So apple cider vinegar has a number of health benefits, but it is really proven to keep your blood sugars low and to help regulate them. And there's been a lot of studies show that if you take, I would work your way up to 1 tablespoon. So I'd start with 1 teaspoon. If you take 1 teaspoon before, about 15-20 minutes before your meal, in just a little bit of water, that you will be full quicker, and so you won't eat as much. I would work your way up to 1 tablespoon. Apple cider vinegar is also going to help to break down that food. And when we break down our food, and we're going to eat really good, healthy, ketogenic foods, when we're taking the apple cider vinegar, it's acidic, so it's going to help to break down that food. And when we break down the food, we're going to get more nutrients out of it. When we get more nutrients out of it, we're not going to be as hungry as often, because most of the times we're hungry, it's because we're lacking nutrients that our body needs. So if we have those nutrients, we're not going to be hungry. So you really want to help. It's amazing. A lot of people, when you first start, I'm going to tell you, it doesn't taste good and all that. As you get doing it, it will start tasting better and better. Make sure you are rinsing your mouth out with water so that you're not having anything go wrong with your enamel. Oh my God, I can't talk. On your teeth. I can't pronounce it. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So you want to make sure that you are rinsing your mouth out. But that is a huge, huge thing. Also, one of the key benefits that has really helped me, so I've been able to lose about 36 pounds, and it has been exogenous ketones. I will just put a link below on what my favorite exogenous ketone is, but they can really help with that fasting. I talked earlier about, when we fast, how much benefit it does because we're not spiking our insulin, we're using our own. When we are drinking exogenous ketones, it is going to make it so much easier to to do that fast. It's going to curb your cravings for those sugars, those sweets, those carbs, those chips, those things we want. And it's going to give you energy to go do those workouts, to do the high intensity interval training. I typically do drink my ketones before I work out. I find it really gives me that boost. It's like the best pre-workout. And it just, yeah, so it does all of those things. It kind of helps to push you to do all of the things that you really should be doing. So I really do believe if you can put some of those things into place, you will see those stubborn pounds that don't want to go start melting away. But on that note, the scale, I hate the scale. I do get on the scale, but I know that scale is only gravity, what I am against gravity at that time. So if I have just drank 2 liters of water, I'm going to be heavier than if I didn't drink 2 liters of water, but that doesn't mean that I'm fatter. All it means is that I've drank 2 liters of water and I now weigh 2 liters more, whatever 2 liters weighs. But if you eat a big meal and get on a scale, you're going to weigh more than when you're fasted. So you could have the exact same amount of fat on your body. So the scale is such a poor measure. I really do like pictures. I do like measurements. I do use the scale, but I use it in a helpful way, right? So I try to only weigh myself in the very first thing in the morning before I've had any liquids or anything. I do try to watch out for my menstrual cycle because I do weigh more at certain times of the month than others. But I just use it as a guide. If I'm working out a lot and I notice that my jeans are fitting better, then I know that I have just gained muscle and lost fat. But I just kind of use it that way. But I love when people take pictures and do measurements. I just had a girl yesterday. She did my beef, well, not mine, but I recommended to her to do the beef and butter fast that I had got on the internet, and I had amazing results. I will post a link on the beef and butter fast. She took pictures, she sent it to me, and she was working out during her 5-day beef and butter. But it was amazing the difference in her love handles in just 5 days. So beef and butter, she wasn't spiking her insulin. She had been eating quite a few carbs. We were doing intermittent fasting, so she was stopping after supper and not eating until lunch. And she was exercising, and she was drinking her ketones. So she was doing all those things and saw a huge benefit. So it is possible, but you do need to do it. You do need to put the work in, but it will work. Please comment below with what has worked for you. Also, if you decide to implement any of these things, and let me know what your results were. Did they work? Didn't they? Let me know what you think of the taste of apple cider vinegar. Make sure you get unpasteurized, pure apple cider vinegar. Don't be just slamming down pasteurized vinegar. You want the mothers that are in there. And I think that's it for tonight. So make sure you keto on. It does work, but you do need to put the work into it. And hopefully that helps, and would love to talk to you soon. Bye.